Good evening, everybody, and welcome to ANZCAR Thunder here on Locked On Lads, iRacing TV, or whatever we're calling it at the moment, whatever Wilco's decided to call it at the moment. We are here live tonight for the 11th round of the season, the final round of Season 1. The final race here at Darlington, and joining me tonight is himself, Mr. Peter Wilco Wilkinson. How you going, Wilco?
Mate, I am legendarily happy right now. I just realised I haven't done all the things that I said I was going to do. And we're now showing that we are at Darlington 150, as you remembered. We had so much time tonight. It's ridiculous. And then I just got complacent. We are Locked On Lads TV. That is the name of the show. We are on the Locked On Lads YouTube channels and Facebook channels and Twitch channels. So thank you to everyone who is joining us live for the last time for the season, the first season of 2022. We have a champion who can only be undone by himself. We have a champion elect, which is, sad, but we definitely have some other positions to decide upon. Who will be second, who will be third in the championship is sort of still up in the air. So I'm interested to see how that plays out, but it's been good. Carl Wilkinson, Wizzy, we've been doing this for a full season now of Thunder, and you didn't get to have a chat with me last week, really. We had that Braden guy on, but I'm back. How have you been?
I have been as well as possible, so let's put it that way. I'm alive, so that is the main thing. Keeping as busy as ever in the commentary box. It is, as we said, the AJD Australia 150 here at Darlington Raceway. So I'm super excited about this, super excited to have one season under our belt as well. It's been a good run for us, and things have gone pretty well so far, and people have been enjoying it. So I think we've done a good job so far, Wilco.
Yeah, people are weird. It's funny what they enjoy and what they don't enjoy. It's really, really weird. I'll put it that way. No, it's been a very good season. It's been a season of fun, of learning, as we see one Edward Foster go out onto the track. I'm just wondering if I've got my training paints working. I probably should. It's there. But yeah, look, it's been something very different, something very interesting that we've tried this year, and I'm happy that we did. We jumped in when FMG Cast decided that they couldn't do it anymore, which is, look, fair enough. I completely understand that, how busy schedules get in. But, we've done some things. We've seen some great racing, and people are enjoying it. As Edward Foster just lights up his rears as he goes around high and actually does lose it. That's going to cost him.
Just trying to find him on my timing screen. Are you sure he's out there?
I don't know. I'm watching something that says he's out there. Oh, no, it's Aiden Schultz. Sorry, it's Aiden Schultz.
Yeah,
sorry,
right,
it's a 52, not a 35.
Yeah, I thought that was an issue.
Oh, no, it's not even 35 I'm looking for. I'm having a shocker tonight. All full disclosure, it has been one of those weeks. Let's go to Davey Douglas. I know he's out there. He's having a bit of fun. We watched Aiden Schultz lose it, so we're now back to Davey Douglas. I said we had a good season so far, and here we are. My brain is not here tonight, so if I make mistakes, sorry. We see Jaden Russell, though, topping the time sheet with Hamish Gallagher second, Dave Douglas in third. Always Dave Douglas gets it wide on his second lap, I'm assuming that is. So that's as far as he will get up in the things. Clark.
A decent lap up in sixth. Jaden Russell currently sitting up there in first at the moment. Let's just keep an eye out for Joshua Warren. He's not out on track at the moment.
Stevie Dub pulls himself up into... No, he goes down very quickly as Ryan Jones gets himself up into third. And Hamish Gallagher gets back. But Neil Pearson, straight to the top of the table, as I'm not even watching what's going on. Let's actually watch some cars that are out there on some flyers. Let's go to number 31. Josh Micklemore. See what he's up to. I'm forgetting I'm also commentary and producing tonight.
That's it. Doing two jobs at once, which always throws you off.
So we haven't had a chat to you about Darlington. While we're finishing off quali, tell us about Darlington, mate.
Well, the lady in black, as she's known, she's a bit of an old lady. It's 72 years old now. I think it's 72. 72, yeah. 72 years of age. It's a bit of a different track, strange track, as it does get tighter towards the back. So it's like an egg shape. So it's sort of a bit of a weird sort of track. So it's sort of bigger at the one end and then shorter at the other end. So you've got a really nice wide corner where you can take a lot of speed through it. There's some fairly decent banking in there where you can get some speed through there. And then it tightens up. Banking wise, around about 25 degrees of banking on turns 1 and 2, and then 23 degrees on turns 3 and 4. That slightly tighter part of the track. So that really does throw it off a little bit. And that's one of those things that will catch drivers out. It's very easy to sort of go into the corner a little bit hard sometimes, especially that final corner, and lose the car completely. So watch out for that one. The Darlington stripe, of course, is a famous aspect of Darlington. It's where you just give the wall a tiny little rub and we'll get a nice little black mark on the walls here at Darlington and a little scratch along the car. If you don't get yourself a Darlington stripe, then you're not driving fast enough. It's a bit like Monaco, where you want to be just giving that wall a little nudge. And generally drivers will run the high line as well here rather than the low line. Interestingly enough, the first winner of the event actually ran the low line to win it, but that was a very, very different race, as the winning driver in that one, he was using a set of tyres that basically could last the whole race, whereas everybody else were using tyres that pretty much fell apart after about 10 laps. And yeah, he just stuck it down on the low line, easily got through, won the race by about I think it was about 7 laps. I think it was in the end. He ended up winning because he managed to get it done on the whole set of tyres. But we probably won't see that this year. Watch out for Hamish. I reckon he's going to be strong around here. He's going to want to try and finish the season off in style. People like Pearson, Jones, they tend to be quick around here as well. But tyre saving is going to be a big one tonight.
Excellent. So we're going to move away from the video intro because we are about to grid up. So I hope you enjoyed seeing that beautiful tyre of Carl's. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's move into the actual race preparations itself. So, yeah, as you said, Ryan Jones, very quick around here. Neil Pearson as well, very good effort. By the way, Brett Campbell, we will have a good call. Thanks. It's not been the best start, but it'll be good. Trev, we will continue this next season. So I think I announced it on the podcast. No, we talked about it last week, maybe. I don't know. We've talked about it at some stage.
We talked about it where you were saying, yeah, we've done season 1, and I'm just like, wait, what do you mean? Wait, what, you're not doing season 2?
No, I don't know. We'll see. No, we're definitely coming back next season. So, yeah, no, it's going to be good. It's something that that's keeping me activated, keeping active, and keeping me looking forward to coming back each week. So for whatever that's going on, that's definitely good. And Riley Curtis, a name I don't see enough out here on the track. Welcome to the chat, mate. Welcome along. Good to see you. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and all that kind of stuff. Share if you can. All that kind of stuff helps us out. I am going to bring up the old school grid and see how it shows. And then, Carl, tell us what's going on with the grid.
So, up front, we have Ryan Jones taking pole position ahead of Neil Pearson in second. Absolutely nothing between the two up the front there. Just a fly's hair separating them. Row 2, we have Hamish Gallagher and Jaden Russell. Row 3 is Aidan Schultz and Michael Skurlock. Row 4 is Josh Micklemore and Stevie Dubb. Row 5, we have Norman Clark, Adam Malone. Row 6 is Koch and Otto. Row 7, we have Georgeson and Douglas. Row 8 is Hedishide and Cuthbertson, a new name to the series. Row 8 is Spencer and Jaeger. Row 9, we have Traher and Wellman. On the 10th row is Jordan and Fenley. 11th, we have Phelps, Carol Walden, and Curvis, Raymond, Hunter, Turner, Tompkins, Closey, and Campbell, rounding out the field tonight of drivers that have elected to not do a qualifying run. 31 cars out there tonight at Darlington. That's probably about the right number. That's about the number you want to have out here. You don't want too many.
Yeah, definitely. And look, hopefully when we come back next season, Trev, we'll have the new Locked On Lads broadcast and PC. Might be powering this, so we might be able to go a little bit better on the graphics. We'll see, and we'll see where it is. But Riley, that's a shame that Wednesday's no good for you. I want to be out there racing as well. But yeah, might run a special livery. That's what I want to see. We've got Skittles this week, Carl. There's no M&Ms.
Skittles gummies at that. Skittles gummies.
I hope
never.
that's an official sponsorship that he's got rights for, but otherwise we're in trouble. But anyway, it's good to
Yeah,
see.
that's it. I did not know Skittles made gummies. That's interesting and intriguing to me, and very scary. It's going to be tricky calling Neil Pearson tonight because he is in the classic DPR colours as well, with the beautiful, slightly silvery white and black. So that will throw me off completely because I'm used to seeing him in the red car. But we are getting ready to go green here at Darlington. The pace car pulls in. We're getting ready for a nice long race tonight as Ryan Jones gets a fantastic start, gets away nicely. A few cars in the background, getting a little bit squirrely at the start there, losing a little bit of traction, falling back a little bit. But Jones gets a great start, same as Hamish Gallagher on the low line. They slide up to the high line. Who's that in the background hitting the wall? That's one of the DPR cars just catching the wall a little bit. Might have been Stevie Williams. Yeah, it was Stevie Dub just catching the wall a little bit hard there. So he's the first to earn his Darlington stripe, and that's dropped him to back a fair few places.
Can't even see him on my timing board at the moment. My brain is really not working, but it was interesting to see Brian Jones, good start. Oh, Dave, I just went off him. David Douglas get hip checked
and
there.
Phil Otto, Dave Douglas, Phil Otto making contact into each other just out of turn 4 there.
Very good job to stay straight enough. They have lost time there. And who's that on the inside? Is that Matty Ray or is that Nobby? And his Nobby's come down on the inside as well to get out of the way. And that was very interesting. That was 2 cars coming together and making some fairly significant contact, but surviving. No caution at the moment. Bit jittery on the feed tonight. I apologise. That's what the computer is running 100% at its limit right now. That's why we're getting the new box on that broadcasting PC built right now. But Brian Jones is getting a little bit squirrely off the start with those cold tyres. Got a bit sideways on that first lap, but seems to have settled into a pretty good rhythm now and just starting to open that gap up to just a bit more than half a second, or around about half a second. As I say that, it closes back up again.
Big gap back between Stevie Dub and Josh Mickelmore now. Stevie Dub just catching the wall again, so he's just run up into the wall. Might have caused a little bit of damage on the front section of that car. Front right may have damaged the steering a little bit, and that's just caused the car to just keep running up into the wall for him, which is never fun to have happen. But Ryan Jones at the moment, he's got a fairly solid little lead out in front. He's sitting nicely there. He's just ahead of Neil Pearson, Hamish Gallagher, Jane Russell. A little bit of connectivity issue in the background. He's got Michael Skurlock behind him. Michael Skurlock, the only driver that's really in for a chance tonight of trying to pip that championship away from Hamish Gallagher. But of course, it would really need Hamish Gallagher to have an absolute shocker of a night and score minus points, I think, to lose the championship right now. So he just has to get that car home. But it's not an easy thing to do here at Darlington. It is very easy to lose the car. You are going to be running that high line, as I said, which really can catch things out on you.
I don't know why we've got a replay going. My computer's just decided not to have a bit of fun here. So let's go back to the lead. Apologies for that. And Carl, I will let you see exactly what's going on with the race from the broadcast standing point. Like I said, there's a little bit of weirdness going on tonight. Apologies. We've got through most of the season until now.
It is the end of season jitters. That's all it is. It's been a long season and everything is just getting a little bit tired. We need to dust out the computers. As Neil Pearson catches the wall, but that's going to give Hamish Gallagher a run up at the front. They're side by side for P2. J. Russ looking at there as well. A little bit further back, you've got Aidan Schultz looking at making a move on Skurley. He taps at the back of Skurlock. Skurlock saves that car. Somehow that was a beautiful save by Skurley there. Saving that car. Fantastic job from him. And he keeps it, just drops it down. I think he's going to drop back a little bit. He's probably got those rear tyres a bit hot now. So he's just going to leave it back a little bit, cool that car down before he goes back on the attack. Yeah,
it's good to see young Aidan Schultz up there as well. Haven't seen him for a few weeks. He's back, doing well in the top 5, as he should be. And looks like he's going to start catching up after that little bit of a hiccup in front of him to the back of Jaden Russell here, just so he can sit on there and hopefully leave those tyres for later. But Skurley's just sitting there. He's ready to pounce later on. But that was a bit interesting. As that was all happening, Daniel Heddershot and Dave Douglas back in the field were going too wide and almost into the wall as well. That's what I was trying to show when it happened all up front. But Daniel Heddershot's had another great season. Probably some tactics last week, unfortunately, didn't go quite his way. But here we go as Dave Douglas starts to overtake Tristan Cock there as well. And Daniel Heddershot's going to go down the inside of that. Or not quite get there as well. So we don't have tyre figures for we don't have fuel figures for tonight, Carl. We do have tyre figures.
Well, we don't have anything solid, but it's Darlington, so the front right is going to really start screaming after about 10 laps. So it's a known quantity, luckily enough. Fuel-wise, it's not too much of an issue. I think they get about 70 or 80 odd laps on a tank in the Xfinity car. So generally, you'll be looking at stopping around about lap 60 to cut the race in half, get some fuel on board, and change those tyres if it's a green race. Of course, if we get a caution flag come out, we might see a few people deciding to jump in and get some fresh tyres. There's a big big battle going on, I should say, with Tristan Koch at the moment. He's just got passed by Daniel Heddershot and Luke Traher looking to get past him as well now. There's a little battle going on up there. Up front, the gap is closing, though.
Hamish Gallagher's in front at the front.
Yes, it's close to such a point that Hamish Gallagher has taken the lead.
It's gone negative. It's crazy.
That is how close it has got. But yeah, Ryan Jones falling back a little bit. He just caught the wall just prior to when I was just as I was jumping across, because I saw on my timing screens a bit of a change. Yeah. He ran up high, just gave the wall a little tiniest kiss. Didn't actually really. I doubt he would have even got a. He may have got a 0x out of it. That was how light it was, but it was just the gentlest touch. Exactly what you want to do at Darlington if you are going to have that happen. But he just had to ease out of the accelerator, and Gallagher was right on him, straight underneath him, and taking the lead of the race. But Pearson and Russell have both caught up to him as well, so they're trying to start to catch up. As you see, Jaden Russell making a move on Neil Pearson right now. He's looking to go down the inside, breaks a little bit later, goes late. There's going to be contact, door-to-door action there.
That was very close. Very well done to pull out of that. I thought that was definitely going to be some more solid contact than that. But unfortunately, move did not stick. But good effort from Jaden Russell. We know he's had a season to forget, but also he's had a couple key things not go his way is what I'm trying to spit out, with a couple of disconnected issues. But other than that, he's had a really good season and should be right up there if it wasn't for those couple of disconnects. But hanging around the back of Neil here, I think these four are going to make it work and going to put on a show for as soon as Skirley's back there as well. But Aiden Schultz is just sitting there watching what is going on as well. It's a very good little group of 5 up the front there. Actually 7 up the front there, really. But they are opening a gap up on TV Dub at the moment. So other than that, there's a few little bits going on down the back of the field. Anthony Cutson seems to have gone a lap down now, along with Tristan Cock, which we were talking about before. So I don't know what's happened there, Carl. He was battling for
lane. So I think Cuthbertson's taken a big hit on the right side. So he's getting some repairs done. Koch as well, I think, coming in as well for possible repairs too, because it looks like he's got some damage on that car as well. So it looks like both of them just took a bit of a big tap on the old concrete barriers on the outside. And yeah, I think both of them had to come in for repairs. So unfortunate there, but we've got a good battle up the front as Ryan Jones is having to defend against 2 cars at the moment. He has got Neil Pearson and Jaden Russell all over the back of him, like a rash, covering him from the behind and putting all the pressure on. You can see Pearson having to cover off the line from Russell there as well, and that takes him off the corner a little bit of contact for Aiden Schultz in the background. Loses him a spot to Josh Micklemore, but Pearson makes the move on on Jones, and takes second place. Nice move there from Pearson.
Yeah, Jones seemed to almost pull out of that. Was happy to give up the position. I don't know whether he's got too much contact, but it doesn't look like there's much wrong with his car there, or whether the tyres, he's just trying to look after them a little bit right now. But he's definitely seemed to be letting Neil Pearson pass there. And Neil's open up the gap. As we see, Hamish is almost out to a second. He is officially out to a second on the leader now. And Jaden Russell's going to make this stick on Ryan there. It doesn't look very comfortable, Ryan Jones, at the moment. I don't know what it is. He's had a great race the last week, and this week the car had a great start, but the car seems to be a little bit issue there. But Aiden Schultz in the background, you can see there, is actually dropped behind Mickelmore and Skurlock, which is quite interesting.
Just jumping back to Stevie Dubb and Adam Malone at the moment, side by side at the moment, the 34s. Oh, Williams up in the wall, heavy contact there for the 98. Again, a big whack from Stevie Dubb. Of course, season 2 truck champion last year, I think, off the top of my head.
Yes.
But Stevie Dubb very much getting a big hit to the wall, and that's going to hurt the car. Obviously, aero-wise, it's not going to really affect it too much here at Darlington, but the geometry damage is going to be the thing that affects it at the front. When you get suspension damage and stuff like that, that can really hurt it. As Russell has a bit of a moment mid-corner as well. He loses the back end of the car, and this is going to give Ryan Jones a chance to come back at him. Jones has got a big run at the moment on Jaden Russell, as Russell just got loose on the mid-corner through turns 1 and 2, I think we were at. And he just managed to save it, but lost a whole heap of time, and that's put them back into the grasps of people like Josh Mickelmore at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Josh is coming up with Scully, as Scully was in there before. The interesting part that Hamish to Neil gap seems to be going within between a second and a 0.8 of a second. So Neil gets a bit of run on him, and then Hamish gets away on him as Neil's now getting a run on him again. Like I said, Jones is looking good, but a few people in this car that don't look very comfortable now. 21 laps into the race. Like I said, Aiden Schultz has dropped almost 2 seconds off the back of Skurlock now, where he was up ahead of Mickelmore. I think Josh Mickelmore's doing a great job just sitting back there. He hasn't made many mistakes. He's just watching a few people fall off the pace, as I think he's going to start catching up to Ryan Jones now. Closing that gap down to half a second on him now, and I think you'll see him start pushing past Jones as well. So I don't know whether it's tyres or what's causing Jones to fall back a little bit, but be interested to see what happens over the next 40 laps if we don't get a safety car, how far these cars do fall off.
That's $5 to the old safety car jar there.
I can't afford it. It's a pace car, I know. I got up Brayden last night on the podcast, and I still stuffed it up. That's how off my brain is tonight. Sorry, everyone.
That's it. Brayden's going to rub it in now. That's it. You've given him ammunition. But now, I wonder if Ryan Jones is just easing off a little bit, and he's going to start going back at drivers a little bit later on in the stint. It looks like we might have a long green period here tonight at Darlington, so I wonder if he's just eased off a little bit to sort of have an attack later on in the race. We have seen people like Hamish Gallagher just able to just absolutely keep his tyres alive the whole race as well. But also watch out for Luke Trahere down in 10th position. He's worked himself up 9 positions so far in the Night Crawl Racing entry, sponsored by the Way Down podcast. But he is working his way up the field nicely, and he's one of those drivers that tends to do very well at keeping his tyres in a semi-good condition, especially towards the end of a stint.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, David Stevens in chat. Welcome along. It's interesting. I'm looking back through the field. Raymond Yeager's having a pretty good one. He's up 5 spots. Daniel Heddershaw, Luke Trahere, like you just mentioned, he's up 9 spots as well. So Ruben Phelps is making another one of those runs as he's in a bit of a lead of a pack at the moment, where so Davey Douglas, as he goes sideways out of that corner right there, is one that seems to have gone backwards fairly significantly, but he's only down 3 spots. Every time I look at him, he seems to be going backwards, but Ruben Phelps on a really good run. Matty Hunter.
Oh, Dave Douglas having a big moment there. He's managed to catch the slide, but he's lost it going into the corner.
That car started.
Yeah, he started having a tank slapper down the straight, actually, and he just sort of caught it. I've never seen an Xfinity car get a high side before, but he managed to do it somehow. But yeah, I think he's coming into pit lane and possibly going to have to get some repairs done. That was a rough one for Dave.
This has happened a while ago. His car's been damaged for a while.
Yeah, he's been carrying damage for quite a long time. But that was a strange one for him down the straight there. It's almost like he lost it going, just coming out the corner, and then he's had to try and save it. You can see him wiggling. And then I think through the next corner, if this is the right replay, he sort of gets through the corner, and then that back end just steps out on him, and he will just really struggle, and that's those rear tyres just getting overheated, and you can just see it sort of fishtailing all the way down there, and he can't get it back into position. Those rear tyres have just basically boiled themselves off and are no more use anymore.
Yeah, I think also you can tell he's taken a big hit at the front end there as well. When he went basically ran the wall around the outside there, the nose kicked up, and I think he's got some steering damage in there as well. But as we go back to the front, Hamish has now a 2-second lead over Neil Pearson, which is frightening, but that's why he is the championship leader-elect. Championship winner-elect.
The reigning champion as well.
And reigning champion. And obviously putting a big step forward to the year-long season as well. So he said that was what is on his mind from the start, and he's definitely showing it this season. Scary to see these guys let him open up a 2.5-second almost lead now. So we are halfway through that stint you were talking about, that sort of 30 laps mark at the moment. So.
Yeah, I don't think they're letting him. It's just Hamish is just absolutely hooked up in this Xfinity car at the moment. There is very few people that are as good as Hamish Gallagher at the moment in this car, and he is just able to do things with it that everybody else just looks at and goes, how? This makes no sense. He's just absolutely found the sweet spot for this vehicle, and he can just drive it like none other, as he just actually clips the wall there and just gets his Darlington stripe done for the evening. But he is absolutely able just to keep this car alive and just keep it going. He's been having such a strong season, and he is really the driver to beat at the moment. A lot of other drivers have had some good runs this year, but yeah, Hamish has been in just another league almost. He's had such a really strong season. 4 wins currently this year, which is, I think it says it all really. He's been having a very, very strong run.
Just go back here, looking at Matty Hunter. Like I said, up 9 positions. We've got Matty Ray, as always, up 7 positions behind him. Luke Georgeson down 3 in front of him. These guys are putting in a bit of effort here. Matty's got a bit of panel work on the front of his car there that's missing. That looks like a bit more than a stripe, but seems to be going fast in that car, which is very good to see. These guys having a good little battle. Daniel Heddershot, as we went to before, is having a bit of a battle here with Adam Malone. Norman Clark in front of him, who's having a pretty good race there, and Aiden Schultz still holding on to that top 10 position at the moment. These guys are doing a really good job. As I move away, and Matty Ray gets past Matty Hunter. So,
I was about to say, we've got a battle between the two Maddys there. Matty Ray getting the job done on Matty Hunter there, and just sliding it underneath him. Matt Hunter just actually got a little bit loose in the aero wash and just ran up the track a little bit higher than he was expecting.
That's Luke.
As Luke Georgeson catches the wall, and that's going to give Matty Ray the chance to possibly try and get up another spot as well.
I think he's had to pull out of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's discretion the better part of valor there. But Georgeson loses it again, and that's going to be the chance that they need.
Oh, Matty Hunter coming through the centre. Oh, Luke's going in.
Yeah.
He's had enough of the tyres. Has Norman Clark, I believe? No, Norman's just had an incident as well and just fallen back as he hits the wall again. Let both Adam Malone and Daniel Heddershide come through. But let's go back. Ryan Jones, it's all heating up in this pack here for the last podium position, with Jaden Russell still holding on to that first spot, but Ryan Jones has come back at him now, and Josh Mickelmore, as I said before, just biding his time, is still in there, and Michael Spurlock always just sitting up there in the top. As we come into traffic, I think that's going to start playing a big part in this race.
Yeah, it is indeed. And I said, watch out for Luke Traher as well. He's up to P7 now. So Traher, he's got a bit of a gap to make up on Skurlock. But he qualified down in 19th position. He's up in P7 now. He's really trucking along. And he's one of the fastest cars out there. So he could be one of those to look out for. Give it a few more laps, he might start catching up to those guys, especially as they get into heavy traffic now. That's going to be a thing that really affects it here at Darlington, of course. Traffic can always play a big part in it. Normally, we say to traffic, just stay high to avoid the cars getting past you, as Jamie Curvis just catches the wall a little bit. stay high out of the leader's way. You kind of want it the opposite way round here at Darlington. You want them to go low. But the trouble is when you do that, you tend to go low and then all of a sudden the car won't turn and you end up crashing. So it's a really, really tricky thing to do to position the car. Sometimes it's just easier to keep your line and let the leaders just fly past you.
As Jaden Russell and Ryan Jones have a bit of a moment there, getting past. Who is that? 100. Oh, my brain's not working anyway. But this is a very interesting time. Like you can see, their Skurlock's right back off the back of Josh Mickelmore at the moment as well. These guys are going pretty well, and they're actually Jaden Russell's back with Neil Pearson. As I see a bit of movement going on down further, Daniel Hederscheid has really dropped off the pace. He was right up there with Adam Malone. He's lost 2 spots in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, he's taken a big chunk out of the wall as he was getting past, as he was battling with Adam Malone. I'm wondering if there was a bit of contact. I think there might have been a bit of netcode possibly in that one, unfortunately, and Hederscheid's just got flung up into the wall. Quite a lot of damage on the right front of that car now on the Atari Autosport entry, so that's not what he's going to want to see. Meanwhile, race leader Gallagher has pulled a 2.7 second lead over Neil Pearson, who has a train of cars behind him. One little mistake here from Pearson, and he could drop all the way back to 7th position. You know, it's that sort of, it's that kind of
Jaden Russell's into the wall in front of Ryan Jones. He's going to give up that position, and yeah, he just got very sideways on the off the wall on the straight there, so, or just coming onto the, off the straight there. So very interesting little moment there. I was just having a look too before. Josh Mickelmore has got past Michael Skurlock there as well, so puts Josh up into the top 5, which is a very good effort for him as he now tracks down Jaden.
Yeah, the drivers are really struggling coming off of turn 4 at the moment. They are really starting to struggle with those old tyres, so I'm expecting we could see a caution in the next 5 or so laps. But as we said here at Darlington, also the other thing as well is actually the track temperature. It's 41 degrees out there tonight. It's a 29 degrees air temperature, but track temperature is 41 degrees. That's not what you want at Darlington. This place is bad on tyres, but when it's hot like that as well, it is just going to make it miserable out there. So the tyres are going to get very hot very quickly, and they're going to be very hard to cool down. And as we say, the turns 1 and 2 are nice and wide and open. It's a fairly easy set of corners to go through. But then you get to turns 3 and 4 at the back end of the track where it really narrows up. This track, as we said, egg-shaped track, and it really can throw you out. Good battle between Schultz and Malone there. So those two are having a good little fight, and it looks like Adam Malone might have just got ahead of Aiden Schultz. So those two...
Yes.
Go on.
Luke Georgeson's interesting. He's back out on track again. He's 2 laps down, so that's pit stops costing him the 2 laps. I don't think he was a lap down when he went in. He might have been, but he's definitely lapping one of the quickest on the track at the moment.
Yeah,
those
fresh tyres.
Doing a 32, where the leader's doing a 32. Hamish is doing a 32, but most people are looking here in the 33s at the moment. So,
well, Luke Traher last time around was a 32-1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, like, he, as I said, watch out for him in the latter stages. He's very kind on his tyres, and once again, he's showing that. We're on lap. We've got 66 laps remaining. We're on lap 44, so still a long way to go in this race. Still much that can happen. Wilco,
yeah.
Why is Darlington the shape that it is?
Because the surveyors had the surveying tool at the wrong direction when they went to do it at one end. No, tell me. I'm interested to find out. Easter competition? Kids drawing?
No, not at all. It's actually because of a little fishing pond. They had a minnow pond. The farmland where it was at was actually bought and made into the racetrack. And on the exit of, I think it's either the exit or the entry of turns 3 and 4, there's a minnow pond. So there's a little pond for fishing, effectively. And the farmer didn't want to lose that pond because he had some good fish in there. So they had to design the other end of the track much tighter than the beginning section, effectively. So that is why it is the egg shape. That's why it's tighter at the back than it is at the front. So it's an obscure fact, but it is an interesting one.
I honestly thought you were saying the shape of the track was going to be the shape of the pond, and it was in homage of that. I didn't realize he just didn't want to move it. That's interesting indeed.
Yeah. Well, the guy when they got the farmland, they kind of got it for free and got it cheap. So the least they could do was leave the minnow pond intact. So yes, that was the one condition.
Yes, definitely. Look, it's a good story. Well done. I did not know that at all. So you've got one. I don't know much, to be honest, but that's definitely one I didn't know. So we're just watching in the back of Jaden Russell's car from Josh Micklemore's all over him at the moment, which is really good. You can see the stripes down the outside of Jaden Russell's car quite well there as he puts it down the inside. Will it stick, Carl?
He's trying. Skirley's trying to make a move on Micklemore as well now. So those three are really pushing. Meanwhile, Ryan Jones has got past Neil Pearson up front. So Pearson, I think, having a little bit of a moment out of the corner. Both Ryan and Pearson, I think, both had a little bit of a moment as they're coming out the corner. And Pearson just sort of eased over to let Ryan Jones sort of through as he was gathering up speed. Who's that in the back? Noddy Tompkins just having a big moment collecting the wall as he's just got through there. He's trying to keep to the low side in front of Jaden Russell and people like that to keep out of their way. Unfortunately, though, again, we saw exactly that happen as a Skurlock does the same thing. Gets up into the wall. You start getting on the low side and there's all sort of debris down there and it's just not very nice stuff. And the car just flings itself up. I think Noddy's just dropped right down now and he's just easing off to let these guys through. But again, you can see the car just comes up the track and there's nothing you can do as a lapped car in that situation. You're sort of stuck in that position. So you have to really ease off down the straights to let them past because this sort of corner, you need to keep it on the high side. Otherwise, the car will just wander up the track and then clatter itself into the wall.
Yeah, definitely. That was a very scary moment there. I thought Skurlock was going to bounce back into the car behind him, which I think is, if I'm not wrong, that's Brad, a lap down. I thought there was going to be a bit of a collision there as well after him, but very good driving, very bad driving, oh, not bad driving, but very good driving to hold it anyway. So as that's not be getting out of the way of Skurlock now, but it's really broken up that really good bunch, and they got together, and Josh had worked really hard. And I think he put himself into a position where he should have been fourth, and sort of the traffic obviously played a big part in that. But these guys will come back together slowly eventually, but I'm really impressed by Ryan Jones. He's coming up through. He's put half a second here on Neil Pearson.
Skurlock coming into pit lane.
Oh, there we go.
Skurlock coming into pit lane. Well, trying to come into pit lane. He's trying. It's not worked for him. He's missed the cone. Will that be a penalty for Skurley? Oh, it could be a penalty for him. But I was about to say, Luke Traher, the caution flag anyway. Comes out. That is either perfect timing or the exact worst thing that can happen for Skurley.
Have you got? We've got smoke on the track here. There you go. Luke Traher.
It is Luke Traher. He's had a big moment as he's got contact with Tompkins.
Here.
So yeah, Luke Traher has contact with Noddy Tompkins, and that spins him around as he was getting down past Noddy, and it just looks like possible. Just a little bit of contact there, and then bang, around he goes. That magnificent run from Luke, all of it goes away as he gets spun around. Quite a lot of damage to that car. Will still be competitive, but that is going to be a painful one for him.
Just trying to look, sorry, at from Noddy's angle. So let's have a look from the roll bar. Let's see how he goes. He's coming down the straight. Luke comes up and just, yeah. I think the chopper's going to tell the story there.
Oh, Skurlock, he does get a penalty for that, but because he came in on the green flag, he gets to serve it under caution. And
that's going to be the luckiest call of the night.
That's kind of that could have been a lot worse, but I think he has dropped a lap. It's saying on my
Oh
screen that
yes,
he
I
has
have got
dropped
him
a
down
lap.
a lap. Yes, so
So yeah, that would have been much worse for him though if he had to serve out under green.
so
So
where does it sit with he's the first car a lap down? Have they already done the? Did Phil Auto get the lucky dog? Has he gone around or?
I think Cody Jordan might have got the lucky dog, or Jamie Curtis. I think the
One of
lucky
those
dog's
two.
already been through. So,
Okay.
so yeah, so he won't be able to get that because he was pit lane as well. So, it sort of, it kind of came out at. If Skurlock had got that pit entry perfect,
Yes.
that would have been a absolute delight for him. But with it sort of with that penalty, that really hurt him. So that is sort of it's painful, but it could have been much worse.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to watch what he's doing now. He's slowing right down. Is he coming back in?
I think he's coming back into pit lane just to
Just
top up
get
on
some.
fuel.
Yep. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Look, Riley. I don't know what Nobby was thinking. I think it was just a bit of a both of. Oh, I can't say both of them. It was interesting. Let the stewards look at that after the race, but it's a shame. We got 53 laps without a caution, which is a great effort from everyone. Well done.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised at that here at Darlington. I was expecting a few more cautions than that.
Now,
To tell it,
I'm assuming, Carl, we go one stop more from here anyway. Or do you think
got
Hamish has got the ability to go all the way?
we've got 55 laps remaining.
Oh, okay, it's only 55. My math is, I was counting 65. We can do this. It's halfway. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
So yeah, this is perfect. But the fact that Scully came in again just to top up, I'm wondering I wonder if he's actually just getting repairs done as well. So I think he's just coming in to get some repairs and things like that as well. So he's just coming to pit lane to get some few of those repairs done and things like that, just to get the car in better condition for latter stages. Same as Luke Shaher actually, Matt Hunter. Jaeger have all come in, so a fair few drivers on the lead lap came in just to get those repairs done, and are now quickly flying out of pit lane as the pace car comes down the start-finish straight, so they don't get stuck in a closed pit lane. But yeah, they can definitely make it to the end here. They've just got to look after those tyres. But a late caution, and they'll all be in for tyres again. Because it's going to be a huge advantage of those fresh
Apologies,
boots.
everyone. I do not know what this. I'm getting a phone call on Facebook somehow, and I don't even know where. Okay, it's not coming through anymore. I apologise. I've no way to turn that off. It was going through the broadcast. Apologies.
You've got to love that kind of thing. That's an unfortunate thing of broadcasting off of computers. It's especially when it's completely not dedicated. You can't really manage to fix those kind of things.
No, and I'm looking at Facebook, and it came up with a thing, and I said no, and it continued to ring, and I'm like, there's no option for me to get rid of this. What's going on? Anyway, let's get ready for this restart as Hamish is at the front.
Green flag,
And
green
it's
flag.
a beautiful restart with Josh Mickelmore on the low line.
Wow, look at him. So they've moved up after the line. That's fine. And Ryan Jones has missed out there. I don't know what happened there, but great
A
start.
little bit of contact between Russell and Heddershide in the background. Those two get in contact with each other as they get so close to each other again. They just managed to keep it pointing in the right direction. This is going to give Matty Ray a little bit of a run here. People are going to be hyped up now. They're going to be sort of trying to make some runs, trying to actually keep on the back of Gallagher as well. They don't want to see him running away. But they've also got to think about making it to the end on these tyres, and that's not always an easy thing to do.
No, exactly. And they've obviously learned a lot. They know how hard it's going to be towards the end of the 55. So they either pray for a caution or they really look after these tyres for the next few laps.
Russell and Schultz now making a move on each other. Russell's got the inside line as he gets up. He's just got enough room to slide up in front of Aidan Schultz there, which he does and takes the position. Jane Russell up to P4.
As we go back, Stevie Dub's going pretty well back here, but Matty Raymond, he does it again. We've got to stop talking about it. Up 18 places right now with Daniel Heddershide up into the well and truly into the top 10 now. with the top 9 position right now. Sorry, up 9 positions right now. But do you expect the same from Hamish for this next 55, or do we see some people learning and trying to keep up with him?
I think it's going to be hard to catch up with Hamish at the moment. Again, he has just got such good pace. He's a tenth quicker than Micklemore at the moment. He's really having a good run. As Raymond Jaeger coming down pit lane, I wonder if he is having to retire from the race, unfortunately. Yeah, he's just, as I said, Gallagher has just been on such a run in this car. He's been a dominant force in it, so he is really going well. Meanwhile, there's a good battle going on between Neil Pearson and Matty Ray. Neil Pearson just trying to make the move, I think. Matty Ray trying to make the move on Neil Pearson. Doesn't quite make it, loses a little bit of time, drops back a little bit to Stevie Dubb's grasp. Stevie Dubb, who has spent most of the race in it just giving the wall a good kissing, but he's kept the car up inside the top 10. He's having a really good run, as Michael Skurlock is on a charge as well. Scully is on a charge through the field. He wants to be that first car on the lap down mark, just in case the caution flag comes out, so he can get that lucky dog position.
Yeah, well, all he's really got to do is keep Ruben Phelps behind him. 2 seconds on back at the moment, and he should be fine. He's just got to really hope for a caution. We've gone 55 laps without one. He could get one right at the end, which could bring him right back into it, but he'll be back when he does that. So he needs one soon. He may cause one, which will be a problem for him. He won't get back on the front of the lap. But this battle, we're back with Stevie Dubb and Matty Raymond, and obviously Skurlock in there as well, is really heating up as well. It's interesting to see. Stevie Dubb had a really good qualifying, starting 8th on the grid, and Matty obviously starting where he starts, and these guys find themselves in the middle, or bit above middle of the pack, fighting it out.
Well, Matty Ray, the consummate athlete that he is, probably used qualifying to go out for a quick smoko. So, he's uses that as a quick smoko break just to get ready for the race, of course, as any true NASCAR driver would. But he does like starting from the back and working his way through the field, and he is very good at it as well. He just manages to pick those positions and keep the car out of trouble. He's one of those drivers, I say, always worth watching or talking to about keeping out of trouble, because he just tends to do it. He picks his fights, and he will defend the position, but if he knows that it's going to be one of those sort of really, really dicey ones, especially early in a stint, he'll generally not go for it. Meanwhile, we can see Luke Trahan moving up, just getting past Norman Clark now. So Luke is working his way back through the field. He's got Gary Wellman in front of him now, of the Sim Boys. So he's trying to catch up to him. Luke Trahan now with quite a damaged car. Not as damaged as it was before, but it is missing pretty much the whole rear panel. But he is still going, and luckily, as I said, Darlington is not quite as aero affected as some other tracks, so he should be okay. Obviously, less damage is better, but you can keep the car going here even with a little bit of damage.
It is quite interesting, like, to talk about Luke Trahan. We know how far up he was when he had the incident with Nobby, but that was such a big incident, and he's still up 8 positions from where he started. Like, it is a really good effort with a car like that. Obviously, all the damage was in the rear, mustn't have been much up front, but it is still a great drive night when he's up 8 positions after that big incident. The only incident to bring out the caution so far. As we go up to Neil Pearson now and Daniel Hederscheid, looking at each other, working out who's going to get ahead of who, as we get the little bit of a pit lane knowledge here from Trev Micklemore, calling Hamish a freak, and Josh has been saving but has nothing for Hamish. So
yeah, it's the thing. I've had so many drivers say it through this season and towards the end of the last season as well. In the Xfinity cars is, they're going, look, I was trying to save it towards the end of the stint and really take it to Hamish, but they just have nothing to really take to him, unfortunately. And I would say unfortunately, fortunately, I mean, Hamish is just on an absolute, as they say, the purple patch, but he's just absolutely going for it at the moment.
Brad's going into the pits there. Something's happened there. I was just about to say that was going to be a problem for Skurly.
He's had a big moment. Fenley has had a big hit on the front, I think, and he's decided to come down pit lane. He's got quite a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, the front of that car doesn't look very good at all. I
It
was going to
looks
say
about
that
as good as Victoria Bitter tastes.
that was going to be an issue for young Skurlock, because he was Brad was going to be the lead car a lap down, but he was going the pits, so that's worked out okay for Skurlock. But as we watch here, front of the pack is holding together pretty well at the moment. Hamish has got a half-second lead, then a half-second back to Ryan Jones from Micklemore. Then another bit over half-second back to Jaden Russell, and then it opens up to Aiden Schultz, who's having a great run tonight in the top 5. The interesting thing he showed in the first half of the race, his tyres must have gone away on him fairly early, and he started dropping back in the pack. So we'll see if he's learnt anything from that first 55 laps and can hold on a little bit better for the second one and cement himself in the top 10 for his first race back in a while.
He's going to be hoping for a decent run. Of course, a lot of the drivers will be using this as well as just a little bit of I hate to use the term practice, but just getting that eye in as well for the cup race, of course. Gary Wellman just takes a big knock into the wall there.
And Skurlock decides to get completely out of the way just in case anything goes wrong. Or is Skurlock coming into the pits?
I think Skurlock might be coming into pit lane. I wonder if he has
12 incident points?
Yeah, I wonder if he's got instant points. But yeah, Darlington, of course, not the next race in the cup, the race after that, of course. We are at Dover this week. Wellman up into the wall again. That's caused a big check up behind, and Traher manages to get past Maddie Ray, and that really caused a big check up behind him. That could have been a big accident. Luckily, everybody was aware and used that pedal in the middle of the fray and used it wisely to slow their cars down and cause a big wreck from happening.
I don't know what pedal you're talking about, mate. I've never heard of it. Is there a pedal there? Does it do stuff?
Yeah, it's the oh crap I'm wrecking pedal. You generally slap it when you're wrecking, and usually it makes the wreck a little bit less wrecky. But it's an emergency use, and it's kind of like the ejector seat in a fighter aircraft.
Let's go back up the front, because I think Ryan Jones is setting Josh Micklemore up here, and he wants that second place on the podium back again. He's closed the gap right down to under 0.2 of a second here, and here he gets a good run on him out of that final corner. No, second corner, and dives down the inside turn 3. Can he hold it coming out of 4 and bet onto the straight? No. Josh with the high line should be superior coming out of here, wouldn't you think, Carl?
Yeah, that high line should just have the run. He's just going to probably move down a little bit to cover off Ryan, but he doesn't want to lose that high line too much. So he's just going to keep the high line, keep the run there. Of course, when you're sitting on the high line, you get a better drive. You get better drive off the corner. The low line tends to have better drive in the mid corner. So in corner entry and mid corner, you get a really good run, as Ryan Jones does there, and he breaks super late there. And Josh Micklemore's going to do the up and under here, but Ryan Jones now has that high line. So that was a beautiful move by Jones there. Absolutely squeezed it through there, got the high line, and that's caused Josh to have to yield that position. Ryan Jones basically just yeeting it into the corner there, but he got it perfectly done, and just got it up in front of Micklemore, and Micklemore just had to lift off there, and then Micklemore had nowhere to go other than the low line, and he would have been losing at that race position. So very nice driving there from Jones.
Yes, definitely. That was definitely one I'm glad we got on camera. It was a great move. Definitely what you want to do. Throw it into the corner, and it was almost reminding me of the dirt move, getting that low line and sliding it up above the person to get the high line on the way out there.
Good old slide job.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. My brain isn't working tonight, I guarantee you, Carl. The old slide job. But yeah, no, it definitely reminded me a bit of that. So,
Traher looking to do a similar thing on Gary Wellman at the moment. Traher and Maddie Ray all over the back of Wellman. Traher has got some good pace at the moment, but just can't quite get the move done on Wellman. But he is trying. He's going to get better drive off this corner, I reckon. So he might try and make the move in to turn 1 if he is going to. Of course, it's not quite as much braking here, so it's a little bit easier to carry a bit more speed through this section. It's that wider corner.
Just in the back ground of that has just done a great move and pulled Ruben Phelps through with him. on Jamie Nam Curvis, I think that was. So
Yeah, very nice move indeed. Norman Clark, actually. That was Norman
it
Clark
was Norman.
there. So,
Okay, so what is Norman a lap down? Is that what that was?
no,
No. I'm just looking at the timing. I told you my brain's not working tonight.
no, I think Norman just he sort of yielded a little bit there because he just trying to keep the car alive a little bit. He's just not pushing it too hard, so he's looking to try and keep it more alive for the latter stages of this stint if we go green for a long period. So you've got a few different strategies out there at the moment as well. So drivers driving a few different strategies, of course. Luke Georgeson has come into pit lane again. He's strapped on a fresh set of tyres. He did that just with Brad Fenley. Those two both, Fenley's 2 laps down, Georgeson is 3 laps down, but Georgeson is the fastest car on track at the moment with that fresh set of rubber. As I say that though, Hamish Gallagher just sets a time faster than those guys on the fresh boots, which just goes to show the speed of Hamish at the moment. You know, he's just capable of just getting that car. As we see Trahair starting to make the move here, will Luke make it through on Wellman? Wellman gets up into the wall, gets to Darlington stripe, and that's going to give Matty Ray the opportunity to make it through as well in the singlish corner, which is technically 2 corners. He loses 2 places to Luke Trahair and Matty Ray.
Oh, as he got up into the wall there at the end, just as I flicked through to, I wanted to check out Jaden and Josh. They seem to be getting a little bit closer to each other. So Josh has dropped out a second with that great move we saw before from Ryan Jones, and now he's in the clutches of Jaden Russell. So he needs to hold on to that podium spot because it's been a great drive tonight as we get under 30 laps to go.
One to watch out for as well is Heddershide and Williams. Those two are having a good battle for 7th and 8th at the moment. Daniel Heddershide up there at the moment in 7th position, but he is having a really good run there, and Stevie Dove as well. As we said, he's taken a couple of big chunks out of the barrier tonight, but he has absolutely kept that car going.
We're on board with Jaden Russell on the nose cam here, checking out the back of Josh Mickelmore. As I was saying, it's cut down a half again in under a lap. He's got to be getting him ready here for a nice dive down the inside once again, but no, not quite close enough this lap or this corner as we come around for what looks like the back straight. Oh no, front straight. There we go.
Yeah, the dirt racing experience of J. Russ could really pay off here. He could try for the slide job here for the AJD Australia 150 here at Darlington Raceway, the final round of Season 1 of the Xfinity Championship, brought to you, of course, by Locked On Lads. But J. Russ getting really good traction off that corner. He's going to get a good run into this section now, the tighter set of corners, as he gets a good run down there. But as I said, it gets tight here. That will mean that Mickelmore will have a good run off the exit of the corner. J. Russ just needs to try and keep with him, but he can't do it. He has to slip in behind Mickelmore once more. Just couldn't get that move done.
Yeah, and you see him lining up. It was almost a carbon copy so far of Ryan Jones. He did the same thing. He couldn't quite get him, and then he went back. Look how close he is getting here. He's got to have him now. There'll be a big dive down the inside here with his dirt skills. Will he get in front of him, though? Will he get in front of that nose? I don't think he will. It's going to be another lap. He's just holding on, Josh. He'll get a good run out of this corner. And on the straight, and looks like Jaden's still there. He's just got to worry how much this is going to cost him for tyres. As Luke George, you can see how much that fresh set of rubbers is helping him. He's 3 laps down, or 4 laps down now. 3 laps down. And, oh no!
Contact! As they went 3 wide there, but contact between Mickelmore and Russell, and that has cost them dearly. But this is exactly what Neil Pearson wanted to see, because this has got him right up into the fight. Neil Pearson on the high side of Russell now. He's getting a good run down the front straight into turns 1 and 2. Neil Pearson moving his way up and closing in now on Josh Mickelmore. This is an interesting little battle, of course. We know that Synergy and Mixed Motorsport boys, they work together quite well. It's kind of a working partnership between the teams, but I imagine there was a couple of naughty words mentioned across the radio there as things kind of went wrong in that moment. But they've still up there fighting, but now they have Neil Pearson in the mix, who is between the two of them now.
Yeah, look, that was very interesting. I wanted to go back and look at a replay of that, but it was just, you can't take your eyes off this stuff at the moment. You can see how much pace Luke has. I think it was a bit of a combination of those two fighting for position was slowing them down, and Luke's fresh rubber had a big boost and went around the bosun. I think that's probably spooked the two of them, and they got a little bit closer than what they thought. But there's definitely some damage on the back there of Jaden Russell's car.
J. Russ loses the rear end a little bit there, but Pearson trying for the inside of Micklemore on the tight section. Doesn't quite make it there. Micklemore defending nicely as he gets up into the wall, and he's trying to go down. He goes down, defends. Pearson slows down. Russell gets caught up behind them both, but Pearson's going to get past now.
He does. He makes it stick, which is something Jaden Russell wasn't able to do, unfortunately. But I think
that was all from that little mistake by Josh Micklemore, just tagging the wall a little bit, lost in momentum. Lost in momentum there, and he just lost that little bit of time. And Pearson was just in the right position at the right time there and absolutely pounced on that mistake.
As we drop back now that that's sort of sorted out for the moment, we'll go back there in as soon as we can with 20 laps to go. We were talking about before, Stevie Dub and Daniel Heddershide are both battling it out here at the moment. They've been trading places, and Stevie Dub, there was a movement before, so whether Daniel got his nose in front and come back, but they're definitely battling, and they've got Aiden, as we talked before. Aiden's still sitting in 6th, very good effort, but he's now coming into the clutch of these two, which could be very interesting as he goes into the wall a little bit. Gives it a bit of a scrape.
Just quickly jumping up, Ryan Jones getting passed by Luke Georgeson. Now Georgeson is trying to hunt down Hamish Gallagher to get his lap back, get 2 laps down. And if he can do that, he'll be in a fairly decent spot, as there are a few cars 2 laps down. So Remy Yeager, Kobe Jordan, Phil Otto, both all could be within his grasp here tonight. So Luke Georgeson might be able to pull something back. He's only got 18 laps to do it. But yeah, interesting little battle there, and an interesting battle for some of the lower places. But it just goes to show there is fighting all the way through the field tonight. When you get long green periods here tonight as well, it just really can mix up the strategies. So interesting to see how the different ones are paying off, and who's taking advantage of some fresh tyres and who hasn't.
Yeah, you can definitely see the speed. Like, we've been watching him all the way through. He's still in the 31s. There are a couple other drivers in the 31s. It's basically Matthew Raymond. He's the only other car in there. Like, even Hamish is now slipped into the 32s along with Neil Pearson and Ryan Jones. But Luke is really making these tyres work for him. And like you said, if he can get... all he's got to do is... he's 26... no, that's the wrong one. He's only 6 seconds away from Raymond Yeager, who we're watching just in the back of this battle pack, I think, aren't we? No, he's close, but he could definitely catch up to Raymond Yeager and put some pressure on him, and then Kobe Jordan's a little bit further down the track now. So that'll be a bit harder, but he's got some fresh rubber, which others don't have, and when we get to the end, if it's green lap, it'll be very interesting. But yeah, this front crew, there's 12 seconds, 8 seconds between first to third, and they're pretty well spread out. Neil Pearson has got away from, not much, but Josh has got away from Jaden Russell. Jaden Russell's the loser out of those 3 that were battling pretty hard there before.
Yeah, J. Russ took a big hit into the back of Neil Pearson when Josh checked up, when Josh caught the wall there, and I wonder if that might have caused a little bit of damage to the cooling on the car, or possibly, a slight little bit of engine damage, things like that. Those can really slow you down. If it's cooling, of course, that really can hurt you, because you just got to lift off a little bit earlier. Just got to be really careful about the car, so that can really come into affect you. So those sort of things can really be interesting, and really change your race and change the way you drive the car as well.
As we watch Matty Raymond just get ahead there of Aiden Schultz. So Aiden Schultz still holding on to the top 10 in 9th position, but Matty Raymond making it work and getting himself up another position, up 17 spots since the race started, which is a great effort.
It won't be long before he's caught onto the back of Heddershide as well. He is catching onto the back of Heddershide and Stevie Dub as well. So Matty Ray possibly looking for even a P6 finish tonight. He's got the opportunity and he's got the speed at the moment. So he's had a great run here towards the end of end of the race.
As he watches, oh no, that's clapping. But yeah, he's definitely on the back of Stevie Dale. It'd be interesting to see if he can, well, actually, if they can hold off Matty Ray. But if Daniel can make those last couple laps work for him and get ahead of Steve, who's been there and thereabouts the whole way through the race now. But I was just watching Ryan Jones just sitting on the back of Luke Georgeson, so Luke's got to come back to him, but still, if you're pacing at second place, that's a pretty good effort. He's only 4 seconds away now from Raymond Yeager. Can see him down the track, so that'll be getting him a little bit more excited as well as we look at the battle back there. But Daniel Hedershide, pretty much these guys battling here with Matty Raymond are the closest battle on the track at the moment.
Yeah, Ryan Jones, just watching, looks like his rears might just be a little bit warm. There was a couple of times where the back end was just stepping out a tiny bit on him as they get into lap 45 of this stint now. So it's getting, it's getting towards that time where your tyres are going to really be screaming at you. Very easy to make mistakes at this stage of the race as well. So you've got to be super careful because it is very easy to lose spots. Just saying that Daniel Hedershide has Matty Ray all over the back of him at the moment. The SRM car getting up there, of course, really putting on the pressure. The Mobile Brakes and Mechanics sponsored vehicle. The fantastic paint of yellow and red makes a move on the Natari car. The fully floored entry gets down the inside. The 83 makes a position, and that is a move for a position there from Matty Ray. Beautiful job there. Comes up, cuts Hedershide off so he can't make a comeback. Gets that position done. And one thing I want to say on Matty Ray's car is how clean it is as well. We call him Mr. Sheen jokingly and things like that. But he tends to keep the car as clean as possible for the race. There's barely a scratch on that thing. And he's made his way through pretty much the whole field.
Yeah, that's up 18 positions now. We're well and truly cementing himself in the top 10. Really pushing on towards Stevie Williams now. And I think the pace he's got, he is lapping. It's hard to tell. The last lap was held up overtaking Daniel Hedershide, but the projection puts him almost half a second quicker this coming lap. So that he's only half a second behind. Give him a couple of laps, he'll definitely be there as his tail just slips out coming out of turn 4.
I reckon by the end of this race, he might be looking at the back of Jaden Russell's car. As this continues, I don't know if he'll be able to get past J. Russ, but he will be on the tail of that the SRM of the Synergy car. He will be pretty much on the tail. I think, as we say, Russell's got some damage. He's really struggling speed-wise, and he seems to be just lacking a bit of speed at the moment, just struggling with that one. So watch out for Matty Ray.
Davey Douglas's casting couch has just come into chat and said we don't miss a thing. Damn Darlington. No, we don't miss anything. I'm just quickly watching. We got Luke. We were talking about it before how he's got the pace. He's actually put a bit of a gap there on Ryan Jones, but he now has Raymond Yeager within 1.5 seconds to get back 17th place, which is quite good for him, considering how many stops he's done. What's on his third stop? Did he stop for the... I reckon he stopped twice, but I reckon
Georgeson stopped twice, yeah. So Luke Georgeson has come through pit lane twice. So his tyres are about a good 20 laps fresher than those around him.
Yeah, definitely. And now it's within
as Matty Ray makes the move on Stevie Dub.
Oh, we missed it. Sorry, everyone.
It's still going on. Stevie Dub's trying to come back on the high side at the moment. Matty Ray on the inside, powering off the corner, and Matty Ray just comes up, moves it up slowly, just slides it in front of Stevie Dub, taking that position, and is up into P6 in this race. As we have 5.5 laps remaining. Jaden Russell really struggling in front of them now. He has only a few laps to go, but it's going to be a daunting thing as he looks in his rearview mirror and sees that yellow and red car coming towards him.
Yeah, so it is a 1.5 seconds. These guys are projected to be... He's almost a second quicker on this lap, is the projection. It's going to be game on by the time we get to the end of this lap. Just interestingly enough, we've been talking about it all race. we get on board with Luke Georgeson as let's go actually on board. Let's watch him as Raymond Yeager gets wide there. He's going to line this one up to the next corner. And I know he's got the 3 laps down, but this is with 4 laps to go. I thought he would have got him then, but you can see Raymond just can't quite keep that car down. He keeps on sliding up, and it's wrecking his momentum.
Yeah, of course, Luke has got...
as he hits him.
Yeah, Luke's got much fresher tyres than Yeager as well.
Yes.
So this is a really heated battle between these two, and it's only for 17th position, but it does make a difference.
How would you be being Ryan Jones behind them, watching these two battle it out and just going, please don't. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go.
It does up the nervousness a little bit. It puts that little bit more pressure on. He's luckily got a bit of a gap to himself and Neil Pearson, but it's not much, as we've got 2.5 laps remaining.
We've got to go back to Matty Raymond. I can't watch you, Luke. I'm sorry. Matty Raymond, 3 laps to go. It's down to half a second, and the projection, it is half a second a lap difference between these two right now. He
is really caught right up to the back of J. Russ. As I said, I reckon Jaden's got some damage to his engine after that contact with Pearson, after Micklemore just caught the wall.
His tail Jaden's tail slipped out there at the end of turn 4. Matty's got a great run on him. He's going to line him up now. He's got 2 laps to make this happen, 1.5 laps really now. I want to go at the front to show Hamish win the championship, but this has been building for a long time now. We need the final lap. Board comes out for Hamish Gallagher. Don't have connection issues, Jaden.
I'd say
they got a lap to go.
Jump to Hamish now quickly. As he comes around the final corner for the final time tonight. He is absolutely on it, and he's been on it, and he takes the checkered flag. And it is Hamish Gallagher taking the win, but we're going to jump back to Matty Reyes. He's got a great run on Jaden Russell right here. Down the inside he goes. It's going to be between Russell and Raymond, who is going to get P5 tonight. And it looks like it's going to be Matty Ray absolutely taking the last minute pounce to get Jaden Russell. A fantastic run through the field by Matthew Raymond. 20 positions gained in that race. What a run. Matty Hunter, the next biggest gainer with 14. Luke Trahere, 11 positions gained in 8th as well. And that, remember, after a big incident, the only caution of the night for Luke Trahere. So he did a good job recovering that one.
I just want to go back. Ryan Jones, congratulations on 2nd. Neil Pearson's congratulations on 3rd. Josh Micklemore, an outstanding drive, I reckon, for 4th there. Could have been a little bit higher, but very, very good effort. All these people that we've
got to jump to Hamish Gallagher for the victory burnouts, of course.
Oh, yeah.
As he lights it up. Season 1 champion for 2022, and this is a great start of the year for him as he takes the victory tonight, and well-deserved victory as well. But yeah, really good run from a lot of drivers tonight. There was some fantastic action out there, and great to see. Some great runs, some great racing, and as we said, pretty much green all the way. It's fantastic job from everybody. Only 1 caution flag tonight. That is brilliant stuff.
Especially you were predicting right at the start that this was going to be a fest of pace cars, of its own right, cautions, all that kind of stuff, as we watch the champions sit here and do the burnouts to end it. What a race. Like, we've done 110 laps. We had a caution from Luke Trahere at the perfect time to split this race up into a one-stopper. We've got a couple 2-stop strategies in there, unfortunately. We've got Ryan Jones coming 2nd. That's a great way for him to end his season after a bit of a shaky start or not being there a few races, but what a good way to 2 podiums to finish off the season. Josh Micklemore, Matty Raymond doing what he does best, but even better. Aidan Schultz finishing out in a top 10 finish for the night, which is really good. Daniel Hedderscheid holding on to 9th there, up 6 places. Luke Trahere, after that big accident, finishing himself in 8th. And then some of the battling down the order from there. It's the one thing I've really enjoyed, Carl, out of watching the Thunder series this whole season is there's always been a story from someone different. Yeah, cool. Hamish has been winning, but there's always been something different to watch every race. Like Matty Raymond, we haven't really talked about him much this season. He's got a Destroy All Humans 2 tie. I've had one of those ties. Those ties are a brilliant tie. But yes,
They are indeed, yeah.
what's your highlights, Carl? From what do you think of the season overall?
Oh, look, it's been a fantastic run this season. I think seeing um look, highlight from the season, that's a hard one for me.
Well, just give us
Um
some thoughts on the season. I don't know. There's too many things.
yeah, it's tricky to go through highlights, but I think honestly, just seeing Hamish's run this season has been something stunning. He's just been in a league of his own. Of course, it's fixed setup series, so there's nothing setup wise that you can change in these cars. But he's just got to grips with this car so perfectly. He's in sync with it, and he's just able to absolutely take it there. Seeing people like Jaden Russell have some really good runs this season as well, getting some victories. Again, it's great to see fresh blood moving their way up in the series and taking it to Hamish and actually trying to really push him. Recovery drives, we've seen some great recoveries this season as well. For instance, tonight, if you look at Luke Dreher, obviously it could have been so much better for him if he did not get into that incident, but he recovered back to P8 and started 19th. Again, just really, really good driving. And just some of the driving standards as well. The fact that we've had so many races where there haven't been massive amounts of cautions has been great to see. And it's exactly what we want to see from the Thunder series. We want to see drivers doing well, and we want to see them racing clean. And that's exactly what we've got, and that's exactly what we've seen.
Yeah, definitely. It's as you mentioned, the Hamish is a class of his own, and he's proven that. And it's a long way to go in the year, but what a start to the year long season for him. And the Xfinity cars is, like you said, this is the learning series. And yeah, while I was away, they had some Matty Hunter had to get out and lay down the law, but almost every other race for this season has been really good. Like, there just hasn't been many cautions, which is always good to see. So should we start getting some people up? Is that where we're at?
We are indeed. So we should start with our third place finisher for DPR, Mr. Neil Pearson. So we will drag him up into the commentary booth and congratulate him on a well-deserved, well-run P3 tonight. Neil Pearson, congratulations on a strong finish for the race tonight.
Thanks, Carl. Yeah, it was good fun.
Always a pleasure to have you up here in the booth, mate. Absolutely
I hope so.
pleased to have you up here tonight. It was a pretty decent race tonight. We saw only the one caution, of course. That changes things up strategy wise for everybody. You had some. It wasn't the easiest night in the office for you, was it? It was a pretty tough one.
Yeah, I didn't realize Darlington was tonight, so I saw it with like 30 minutes to go and jumped in. And I haven't raced these cars in a race situation for a long time, so I was a bit out of depth on the long runs. I wasn't sure how the tires would go, and I bounced off the wall way too many times, and I think it just hurt me.
Oh, you got to get the old Darlington stripe. It's an important part. You got that one. A brilliant battle towards the end there between you, J. Russ, and Micklemore, of course. You saw Micklemore just make contact with the ball, and you absolutely pounced on that mistake.
Yeah, I noticed he was struggling a little bit, and him and I wouldn't have caught them, I don't think. Unfortunately, Jaden decided he needed more room, and really slowed them up on one lap, which got me in the mix. And then I managed Micklemore. I noticed, I think he had a bit of damage from that as well. So I was just able to roll it a bit better and get the drive off, and away I went.
Yeah, absolutely. And away you did. P3 tonight, I mean, obviously qualifying second, dropping down to third. I mean, not ideal, but still a really strong finish tonight. It's obviously a track that you go well on as well, Darlington.
Yeah, I love this place. I mean, I think I'd race anything here. So, yeah, I saw it and just wanted to come drive. So it's a fun track. It's one of the hardest in the series, I think. And it's, I know Hamish is really good here as well. So I was hoping to have something for him, but even if I kept the car clean, I don't think I would have had anything for him.
Hamish is a bit of a freak in these Xfinity cars at the moment. He's sort of taken he's been very hard to catch, but the fact you sort of were pushing it a little bit towards him at the beginning is a good thing indeed. Obviously we're here in the Cup, not this week, but the week after. So I imagine you're looking forward to that one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I can't wait to turn some laps here in the Cup car. I think it's going to be a lot faster and a lot more unforgiving than these things. So it's going to be interesting.
And quickly as well, just as we sort of stepped on, it is a hard track to race on. Were you surprised by the lack of cautions tonight?
I was a little bit. Kind of thankful. It's nice, a good clean run, green flag runs are always fun. It's really just nice seeing what the car's going to do, and just trying to battle the balance over that long run. It's the challenge, and especially I had no long run pace on me, or on no testing or anything. So I'm pretty happy to come away with third.
Look, congratulations tonight, Neil. Well done once more for P3 tonight. It's good to see you back in the Xfinity car. Hopefully we'll get to see you again at some stage out on a Wednesday night for Thunder.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I mean, now that it's moved to a time where I'm not at work when qualifying starts, I should be able to make some more.
That's always a helpful thing. As ever, Mr. Pearson, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors and people in general.
Yeah, just you guys for the broadcast. I'm going to look forward and watch that a bit later. And then, as always, just simrigs.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoists, Penamax Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, NP Designs, and yeah, just ANZCAR for the race and the good fun.
Congratulations on P3, and hopefully we'll see you back in Season 2 of Thunder.
Yeah, hopefully.
Neil Pearson at DPR. Strong P3 finish tonight for him.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how it's. Oh, I saw it was Darlington, so I thought I'd jump in. And I especially love the way that you say, "Oh, not a good night, not the best jumping from second to third." Makes me feel really good, Carl. When things like that happen. No, look, he's an expert in his field. Those DPR cars prove it every time they jump out on the field, and what a good run. And you would feel like it was very opportune, like Josh Mickelmore and Jaden Russell came together. He capitalised on it, but you've got to capitalise on it, and he did that. So very, very good job, and yeah, well run. Very good third place.
He saw them fighting and took that chance. Next up, we will grab the second place man, Mr. Ryan Jones, up to the booth.
Hi.
Ryan Jones, congratulations on a P2 finish here tonight at Darlington. A fantastic run from yourself. You were a bit everywhere tonight. We saw you in a few different places, but you worked your way back up to P2 and had a really, really good run on the race.
Don't tell me short. I was top 5 all night, Carl. What are you talking about?
That's what I mean. You were moving around the top 5 all night long, but you had some good battles there, which was great to see.
Yeah, well, I was looking after my tyres, unlike everyone else, it seemed. So, I faded pretty quickly early on in the first stint.
Yeah.
And then I was so much quicker than, well, even Hamish for a lot of the first stint, but I got stuck behind Russell for a little while. I think I'd overheated my tyres, and then Hamish pulled away again before the pit stop. And God knows what happened in the second stint. Hamish is a freak.
He is incredibly quick. I want to ask you on that second stint, did your rear tyres drop off a little bit? It looked like you were having a little bit of trouble on the rear.
Yeah. Well, I worked my tyres pretty hard to get by Mickelmore early on because I knew he was just gonna block me because obviously he's teammates with Hamish. And then I just pushed him a little bit harder than the first stint because I was trying to find something to reel in Gallagher, but it wasn't to be. So I cooked him a little bit, but
It's not the easy, but catching Gallagher in the Xfinity car is not an easy thing to do this season or the last season. We found that out. But you took it to him as best you could. But you worked your way perfectly through that stint. As I said, that first stint, we sort of noticed you dropping back a little bit and wondered if it was you just looking after the tyres a little bit and saw you come back. Obviously, that caution came out at pretty much the best time for you as well.
I was one lap from pitting. So yes, if that had come out a lap later, I'd have been screwed. So I was pretty lucky. I was going to go for the undercut couple laps because the tire drop off and time was massive tonight. So pit 2 laps early. It's 5 seconds. I would have leapfrogged Hamish, but it wouldn't matter anyway because of his long run pace. But I'm just glad I still finished the race. I think it's the first Darlington race I've actually ever finished in ANZCAR. And after turn 1, lap 1, God knows.
Well, so I wanted to ask you on those final laps as well, because you had Georgeson and I think it was
Raymond Yeager.
Yeah, Yeager up in front of you, battling pretty hard as well. Did that make you a little bit tentative?
Oh yeah, half of me was begging them to wreck and bring out a yellow so I could try something on Hamish. I had a plan for the pit stop to jump him. The other half of me was just begging them not to wreck because I just wanted to finish.
Oh no, look, it worked out well. Also, pretty much the move of the night as well on Josh Micklemore. That sort of slight slide job he did on him as well. Absolutely perfect move, and we were watching live at the time as well, so that got caught absolutely perfectly.
Yeah, obviously Micklemore was doing everything to keep me behind because his teammates running up front. So yeah, I just had to send it really. Prayed it works because Russell was blocking me as well. Not blocking, but just not giving it up in the first stint too, even though I let them go.
Racing you hard and not wanting to let you pass. That's mean of them. I mean, as you said, you let them pass. They should just return the favour.
Exactly, but I'm learning the last couple of nights. Some people just want to bump and run and race you hard. So I'm logging it all in the memory bank.
Join it all down. Now, look, congratulations on tonight. A really strong finish, and especially here at Darlington as well. One of the trickier tracks out there. You really had a good performance and look, a really strong P2 for yourself. Before I let you go, Mr. Jones, the usual thing of shout out and love to sponsors.
I want to know before you go into here, what's the change of the Skittles? We had M&Ms, now we've got Skittles. What's the go?
Oh, I think I've run the M&Ms. I think I've run the last round of the M&Ms now. In the Cup Series, I normally run whatever car's running in real life at that particular track. And in the trucks, I'm due for a change as well, actually. Just want to change it up.
Have you had Skittle gummies before?
No. I should ask for a sponsorship deal. That'll be the payment.
Oh, hopefully. Anyway, shout out to your sponsors and all that kind of stuff and thank all those people.
Oh, Skittles gummies? No. Dave talked me into some sense before tonight. And through the race, after whatever happened to him early on, I was ready to go out and wreck some people. But works out well. And Mum cheered me on as always. And you boys put on a show.
Always welcome, Ryan, and all the best to your mum. And hopefully we'll get you back in the booth soon.
Hopefully, 4 from 5 last 5 races.
You're becoming a regular up here now. I mean, gonna have to change the lock soon.
It's all the Tyler, man. It's all about Tyler.
Congratulations, Ryan. See you again.
Thank you.
And finally, we're going to be grabbing up the number 13. It's unlucky for some, but this man has made it the luckiest of all. The man that is so very swift. Hamish Gallagher, the champion of Season 1 and the winner tonight here at Darlington. Mr. Hamish Gallagher, congratulations on a fantastic win here at Darlington and Season 1 championship under the belt.
Thank you, Carl. Hope you're doing all right tonight.
Indeed, thank you very much. Look, sounds like just a regular night in the office for you.
Oh, man, I hate this place. I probably looked on the stream like I'm just driving around in circles, but every lap you feel like you're just on edge the entire time on this track because anytime you're... any lap you can just kill yourself, so it's a stressful race even when you're just riding around by yourself. So yeah, glad to get it over and done with.
I hate this place and wins by more than 10 seconds. Very, very nice.
Oh,
rub it into everyone else.
I don't mean it like that. I mean you can be fast somewhere, but you can still just absolutely hate it. Like I know Edward, he loves this place, and I'm just like, nah, I want to get out of here, eh? But yeah, I generally have okay speed, but I don't think I've ever won here because either normally I make a mistake, go up and hit the wall and throw it away. Such a frustrating place. So I think some other people had some problems tonight. They were the ones that hit the wall. So I just, got a bit lucky in that regards.
Well, we did see you get the Darlington stripe once, of course. So, I mean, you did it at least. I mean, it's important. I mean, give Taylor a little bit of a stripe across her nose, on that right-hand side. But look, I mean, you had that race, so you're very dominant in that race. In all honesty, I mean, again, these Xfinity cars, you just seem to have just this that they suit you so well, and you've been just having such good drives in them. What do you think is the key difference for this and some of the other series?
Yeah. I don't know. I reckon I kind of, because I was sort of picking Ryan. I reckon he was going to be the favourite tonight, and he was smart at the stage. He's been the last couple of weeks. He's been doing really well, and he's really matured these last couple of weeks, and he was looking after his stuff, and he sort of let me go at the start there. And he's sort of peaking me for speed through some parts, but then you got caught up some other cars or lappers or something like that. I'm not quite sure what happened, but yeah, no, it's just I had a fairly drama-free race, and a bunch of other guys didn't. So I think that was the difference tonight. But yeah, I think I like these cars. They've got plenty of power, so more often than not, you can sort of drive it on the right rear a bit more than you can some other cars, like the trucks hasn't got enough power. And I'm not sure what the new car's like, so I've never driven it, but I don't think that's got as much power as this, or it's about the same. So I think that's definitely something that helps my driving style.
I think they're about the same power-wise. I think they're identical power-wise actually, but they're just they're so different to drive. They're nowhere near as fun as the Xfinity.
Yeah, way more grip, I guess, because they've got a bigger tire and all that diffuser and all that kind of nonsense. That isn't oval racing for me, so I don't like it.
That live rear axle. I mean,
yeah, that's how it is.
They've got suspension. I mean, you don't want.
Yeah. Got cart springs out back.
Exactly. It needs to basically be based off an 18th century, horse and carriage. Otherwise, it's not a NASCAR. But a really good run from you this season as well. I mean, consistency, definitely you've been consistent. I think you had like one race where you had a really bad finish, if I recall.
Maybe I can't remember now. Yeah, but I think I've generally been because consistency is generally my strong point. So.
Yeah. Oh no, actually, I think like the bad finish was like top 10 still. So I think that was it. I think that might have been it. But yeah, it has been a really...
No, yeah, it would have been the plate race. I got stuck on the wall in the last lap. Yeah, so that wasn't fun.
Yeah. I was trying to think back. There was one race where it didn't go your way.
Yeah, it happened twice in the same week, both the trucks and then in the Xfinity. So 2 days I got stuck in the wall for iRacing glitch. I was not happy.
It's like buses. You don't have a glitch all year and then two come at once. But other than that, it has been just a really, really strong, consistent drive from you. Obviously, we heard you looking at the season-long one, the year-long championship as well, and that's something you've got your eye on too. So obviously, taking out the season one championship, that must be a great feeling. But coming into next season, how are you feeling?
We've got 3 road courses next season, so that's going to be definitely not to my strength, especially the thing about Belle Isle, the street course. That'll be fun in these cars to see how we all do. I've never driven there, so and yeah, generally not that great on the road courses. So we'll see how it goes next season. But as you say, it's really more the season long, the year long is what I'm going for. So this is just a bit of a bonus, really.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see how they go at Belle Isle. I mean, it's Detroit is an interesting place, and look, you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it, I'm sure.
That's the one there where the pace car guy wrecked, isn't it? Like at the IndyCar race.
Yeah,
so that'll be me probably.
But look, fantastic season, fantastic opening to your opening salvo has absolutely hit its mark this season. So look, just keeping that consistency going is what you're going to be looking at. Of course, the usual tradition of shout out and love to sponsors.
Yep, big thank you to Locked On Lads for streaming this series. You guys have done an awesome job considering if this is all brand new to you. So
you haven't seen tonight's yet. Don't go too far.
I'm sure it's all right. You guys the presentation, you and Carl, been awesome job. Big thank you to the team. Shout out to J Mark getting his first win on Monday night in the trucks. Should have got that a long time ago. Probably would have been a bit easier if me and Josh didn't keep wrecking him. But, yeah, big thank you to the sponsors for Mad As Designs and Affinity Construction Australia. And just a big thank you to Matty Hunter and ANZCAR and the rest of the admin for putting these races on for us. Been having a heap of fun.
Right, we look forward to seeing you back next season, Mr. Gallagher. And of course, congratulations on the win tonight, and of course the season 1 championship. And look, let's see if you can continue it on. Bring the lucky 13 home for the year-long championship.
Yeah, tell Ed he needs to come out for the second season. He'll be good on the road courses, and it'll be a good fun battle with him again.
We'll try and lure him out somehow. We'll
Yeah.
leave some beer around, and it might lure him out of the darkness.
I thought Darlington would have been a nice little carrot for him. He loves this place, but no, he's not here. So well, we'll see.
No, unfortunately, busy life commitments, I think, unfortunately, keeping Ed away at the moment. So, the joys of life. But look, congratulations again, and I'm sure we'll see you back in the broadcast booth, either commentating or, driving, after
Yeah,
winning a
no.
race, those sort of things. But no, congratulations again. And look, enjoy the Hamish Gallagher couch as well. It is there for you. We have had it installed now in the broadcast booth because you're here so often. So yeah, you're welcome to stay and just sleep on it if you like.
Yeah, no, that was good fun, I reckon, last Thursday. Yeah, so it gave me a taste of how hard it is as well. So don't be too hard on yourself, Wilco. I know what it's like now. It's tough work.
Yeah. Like I said, don't watch tonight. It's been shocking about everything. But no, it's been good fun. I've learned a lot. I said too many times, but I've really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I've talked to you way too much this season. It's like you're the third commentator. We need to avoid that next season. Weight penalties might come in. I'll be talking to ANZCAR about that, see if we can get that going. But,
Wilco's going to be in the car with you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we'll have reverse grids or something and start at the back each week.
That probably wouldn't stop you anyway. But no, look, thank you for the kind words. And yeah, you're more than welcome to jump up here whenever you want.
Oh, and I should give a shout out to Matty Ray as well. I think tonight's his 200th or 201st race in ANZCAR. So he did a classic Matty Ray race as well, starting the back. Finished top 5, 0 incidents at Darlington.
Yeah, not a scratch on that car. It's like, you're looking at it, and I was sort of talking about it, and I was like, yep, it's, Hamish Gallagher's been leading the race, had a fantastic run out there, not barely an incident, still has a scratch on the car. He jumped back to Matty Ray, who's passed half of, more than a half of field. He's passed 20 cars. Hard
25,
racing. Yeah. Hard racing all the way. And not even the slightest dent on there, just typical Matty Ray. And 200 races in the series as well. Congrats, Matty Ray. Absolute legend that you are.
It's exactly. Only Matty Ray could start in the back and finish top 5 at Darlington with 0 incidents, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, you'll enjoy the broadcast. He put on a fun masterclass of passing, and it was hard to watch you cross the line because him and Russell were having a very good fight at the end as well. So we did have to cut to you just as he crossed the line, but we got about 2 seconds of you, and then went back to the real battle.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that would have been good fun to watch.
Thank you so much, Hamish. Absolute pleasure having you up here in the booth.
Yeah, thanks, Carl. Thanks, Wilco.
So, Wilco, that is the season over and done with for season 1, I should say. Season 1 over and done with. So we have another season coming up, as we said. So the Xfinity cars will be back 17th of May at Texas. So that will be something to look forward to. But it has been a fantastic first season of working with you guys and getting the racing out as well. Congratulations to you on that one. You've done a brilliant effort, and all the effort that goes on behind the scenes. Big thank you for that from ANZCAR. We really, really are very, 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 very thankful for you to jump on board and do this fantastic job that you've been doing.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been good. Like, it's something that we've been talking about for a long time. It's definitely earlier in our planning schedule for Locked On than what we originally hoped to do it. Like, it was more of a 2023 goal to get to here, but obviously you guys needed something. We had the opportunity, or we were looking at it in our thing, so we jumped in early and did it. And I think it's been a very successful first season. Obviously, I pride myself in I have a very high bar to make myself happy, and I don't think we're quite there. And I think tonight proved it with a few little things, including a phone call. But I think it's enjoyable. I think it's good to watch, and the feedback from everyone has been way better than I thought. So I would prefer to be out there driving, but I would be at the back crashing, so it's probably better I actually get in and talk about it.
There's been a lot less caution since you stopped driving in the Xfinity series. It's strange, yeah. It's weird, isn't it?
lot less driver anger and everything. It's all kinds of it's all kinds of good.
I get the same stuff whenever I don't enter a truck race. So it's me putting down the me passing on the hatred towards you. Okay, so
Yeah, look, and look, if we had time and we had the people, I would get the trucks back live as well. But we just can't quite do that. Stretching myself too thin. If you knew what happened today to get me to this point, to me sit down in front of this computer to bring the race to you, it's an absolute miracle. But it was something I definitely needed to do. But that's the season over. Right when I'm about to do a big charity push, we've got no broadcasts. But look, I look forward to being back in about a month's time in the new studio. So that's going to be the big change. You can see if you're watching live, my background has got basically not much there anymore because we're prepared to move. In fact, next Thursday we do make the big move. Like I said, new computer, new overlays we'll bring to you. We tested the overlays that didn't quite work, so we're going to go back. I've just sort of finished them off a little bit, but the new computer, the new overlays, the whole new studio, soundproofed, so no sound can come from outside. I can be a bit louder so I don't wake up the house. It should be good fun. So, yeah. It's been a pleasure, Carl. It's been something that I've really enjoyed working with you personally. So thank you for teaching me everything that I've needed to know.
Oh, look, if you ever need information on fish ponds and racetracks, I'm your man. But just on Locked On, of course, there is the podcast coming out this week.
I've got to edit it right now and get it out. So straight from here, I'm into editing. I may sleep at some stage tonight, and we'll see. I have to go to work tomorrow. That's my big thing. But yeah, look, we've got the live version of the podcast we did last night. I'll edit that, put it up on the RSS feeds for all those who do prefer to listen to it as an MP3. It's just me, Alex McKellar, and Braden Martin just chatting about what's been happening, it was a good fun episode as always. We then went and recorded the news and results where we talked about things like rubber banding, brake dragging, the new track, our charity stream that we're supposed to be doing this Friday night, as well as a whole heap of other charity streams we're going to be doing. That was good fun. We covered the ANZCAR, we covered Scops, and we covered Sunday Night Lights, which is going really well. So that will be up by the end of the week, so keep an eye out for that. The big thing I want to push right now, we're doing Cure Cancer fundraising. There's doing superhero streamers. Starts tomorrow, goes for 2 weeks. We Locked On will be part of that, and particularly me. We have a charity link, so it's lockedonlads.com/charity. It has just got a link to the Bear website right now, but we have got a $3,000 target on there. We have got a few things planned. The big one will probably be the 8th of May when we start doing the Australasian Supercars E-Series, which you did the tail end of last season, but 8th of May we're coming back for Locked On Lads TV. We'll be taking over properly in full force. That is part of that 2-week period. We'll be doing a big stream that night. And if we get to certain goals, I'll do a bit of a dress up on the actual broadcast as well. So I'll announce that more when I actually have an idea what's going on. I'll get a second to sit down and actually do something. But look, cancer's something that's hit me pretty hard, especially in the last week. Lost a friend just recently and way too soon, but this is something that we want to do. We've done a couple charity streams. This is the biggest one we're doing. So lockedonlads.com/charity. Go over there if you're still listening at this point and give us a donation. That'd be great. But thank you, Carl. I'm not going to plug anything else, so do you want to take us out?
Absolutely. We will see you all again for season 2 of the Xfinity series. Of course, you can catch the Cup series on the ANZCAR Facebook page. Of course, tomorrow night, the Cup series will still be going on, where you can catch me and, of course, Matty Hunter. But other than that, a big thank you to Locked On, to Mr. Peter Wilkinson and myself, Carl Wilkinson. We wish you a good night, and we will see you all again for season 2 of the ANZCAR Xfinity series. Good night.
Good night.